rubber hits the road. I'm done doing what I'm told. I'm doing what I want, riding steel. Leather on my back and the wind in my face. I'm one with the highway and with the human race. This iron horse will separate the bull from what is real. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. We're riding steel.
Good morning and welcome back to Ridin' Steel. Todd Sanders and I are here in Scarborough, Maine. We are across from the Scarborough Veterans Home this year. The ride has gotten so big that they had to move it across the street and utilize this much larger parking facility that we have available to us here. Todd, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great. Beautiful day.
Yeah. Some changes are going on today. They got all the tents and vendors over there for a change. And also, you know, I want to mention that Pamela Pyre's wearing a very special vest today. It's the vest of Roland Doran, who we had lost last month. So what are you expecting for today's run?
It's a short run. It's probably the shortest run that we cover all year long, but it's probably one of the largest runs that we cover all year long. So, I'm expecting a great time. I'm expecting to see familiar faces. A lot of people turn out to support Pam's cause, and it's a very worthy cause. So we did a quick count here. I'm figuring about 300 bikes in the staging area already, and we still got an hour probably before kickstands up. So this has become one of the biggest rides in the state. It's an escorted ride all the way down Route 1 down to a little establishment known as Bentley Saloon, which people enjoy going there. And Bentley Warren brings his van here. He gives veterans rides that can't be on bikes today. So we obviously want to thank Bentley for that, and all the kudos go out to Pam Pyre for pulling such a well-organized and well-attended event together.
Yeah, I want to put out a thanks to all the motorcyclists that show up here for this ride, and I caught the in the opening shot of today's show. You see the Patriot Riders coming down, heading south on Route 1. I caught them as they were going by Freeport. They play a big role in supporting the Wounded Heroes program for Pam, and that's very important. All of her funds go towards helping our local Maine soldiers, and that to me is very important. If every state could do that, it would be quite an amazing feat, one place that they can go to get everything going on. And Pam, of course, is also, a major advocate for them. She has been going to D.C. to discuss some of the issues that our soldiers are experiencing in the VA hospitals and stuff like that. So we're looking forward to hearing what comes of that.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've covered this ride many years now. It's one of the rides that we religiously attend. But the thing that I always found interesting or that I didn't realize was the lack of support that veterans get when they return. Right. You think that because they serve their country and they're a veteran that they're taken care of, and Pam has made it very clear to myself and to anybody who's watched the show probably that that's not always the case. A lot of these guys and gals come back and the support that they need just to survive is not there as we all may think it is. Right. And so her cause helps those that are really struggling and have given a lot for us to be able to do what we do.
Ceremonies are probably about ready to begin here, and so we want to cut away to that. But before we do, I want to say that I have the honor of riding Pam on the back of my bike again this year, and today we're going to be carrying a very special stone as well, and we'll talk more about that when we come back after the ceremonies. Please consider helping John and Linda Gregoire's vision for Hope JG become a reality, and join us for the ALS Ride 2016 in memory of Robert York. This ride takes place out of Raven's Roost on 103 Pleasant Street, Brunswick, Maine on June 26 at 11 a.m. Join us for Marley's Ride Sunday, May 15, 2016 at Pepper's Bar and Grill in Winthrop, Maine, and help support the Julie Kluge Camp for Girls. On June 4th, it's the 8th annual Chris Collin Ride, which takes place out of Bentley Saloon in Arundel, Maine. Please go to www.ridandsteel.com for details.
young, I worked my granddaddy's farm. I worked hard for the promise of the land and the life. Now I've been locked out, the American dream. Well, we sold off the tractor, we sold off the land. I moved to the city and I got myself a wife.
Who's the soldier that we're going to be carrying with us?
This is Army Specialist Cassandra Lee Casavan, and this is her information. She passed away in 2007, unexpectedly, from the Army. She was actually in Fort Hood, which is where my son was. So it's a huge honor. So I'm absolutely honored to carry Specialist Casavan with us today on this. Nice. So we'll take very good care of her.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
And I'll take very good care of you, dear.
Thank you. I gotta change my shoes. All right. So good morning. Good morning. Hi, everybody. Love you, Pam. I love each and every one of you too. I just, you know, seeing the same faces year after year after year out here supporting our veterans is, oh my gosh, well, it's the reason we do it. And it's the same reason we'll never stop doing it, I think is key. So just a couple of things. We're going to be very brief. The sun's hot. We want to get some wind therapy here. Yeah. I know I do. First and foremost, I know people are questioning our choice to move across the street. Well, look to the right and left of you and how much more room you have this year. There's your answer right there. This little man is Galen. If anybody remembers seeing him from other things that we've done, he was the medevac helicopter for Halloween. Picture that. Picture a kid being a medevac helicopter with a working propeller for Halloween. So Galen went around his neighborhood and asked for donations to Wounded Heroes Program of Maine instead of candy, and gave us how much, Galen?
Over 1,500 for donations.
So today just happens to be some sort of a, I don't know, special day, Galen? I think we all need to wish Galen a happy 10th birthday. Oh, I'm sorry, Galen says it's not official till 6 o'clock. But Galen, I think, had a special request for his birthday today, so I'm going to let him explain that quickly.
I also asked for donations for my birthday, if any of you guys didn't hear that.
He asked for donations for Wounded Heroes Program of Maine in honor of his birthday. Ryan has asked that on our ride today that I carry the stone of Army Specialist Cassandra Lee Casavan, one of our Maine fallen. She was 21 of Cornish, Maine, assigned to satellite communication as a satellites communication specialist at Fort Hood when she died unexpectedly in 2007 serving with the U.S. Army. She was born in 1986 in Portsmouth, the daughter of Christine Hensley and Michael Casavan. This stone that you see here was retrieved from Fort Williams Park in Portland, where you would find the Portland Headlight, because it was a favorite place of her family's. So I can't even tell you the honor I have today of carrying Cassandra with me on this ride. So I will take good care of her, Ryan.
With me now we have a very special guest, Barbara Dwyron. I said that correctly?
Yes, you did.
And you're a special guest. Why?
Because the ride was dedicated to my husband, Roland, and I'm his wife, Barbara.
And Roland was very important to Steve. I know Steve wanted to get involved in this interview. Steve knew him better than I. I know there was a big ride for him down at Iron Tails in memory and celebration of his life.
Actually, there was no ride. It was just a celebration of his life.
And I think a bunch of people rode down from Steve, you rode down with some people from the Brunswick area.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, what role did he play, or what contribution did he make to Ridin' Steel?
Well, first of all, I want to correct you a little bit. All right, he was good to all of us on Ridin' Steel. All right, I met Roland several years ago on Facebook. I kept hearing about his name, and because of our friends, mutual friends on Chapter 1 Patriot Riders. And then suddenly he reached out to me and started providing me with some new graphics for the show Ridin' Steel. And he modernized it a little bit, made it a little bit cooler, you know, that kind of thing, and we became good friends. And the new logos that we have and things like that, you know, have been his contribution. At the start of the show, you see the diamond plate come up and the motorcycle revving up, and it's really that takes a lot of work to do that in the editors, and I appreciate what he's done for me in that way. And of course, he was a major supporter of our Bikers Against Bullying program. He designed the packets that we are going to be mailing out to schools and things like that to help schools with helping kids and with anti-bullying.
Tell us a little bit about Roland. Beside the graphic, obviously he's a great graphic artist, and his legacy will continue through the Riding Steel logo and through Pam Pyre's ride, the Wounded Heroes ride today. But tell us a little bit about Roland.
Well, Roland loved bike riding. He loved his motorcycling, and we went everywhere on our 1980 550 Kawasaki. It was one of our favorite bikes.
With a duct tape seat, by
Oh,
the way.
yes. And he was a loving man. He had a very big heart. He just gave and gave and gave and never asked for anything in return. He was just that way.
Now, were you both Patriot riders?
Yes. In fact, during our honeymoon last year, we were shanghaied back in because we had left for our reasons. And then all of a sudden on our honeymoon, we had a bunch of Patriot riders come up and give us our patches back.
So you're both Patriot riders before you got married?
We were before, and then after the honeymoon, we got shanghaied.
Yeah, you were patched in, basically.
Yeah, patched in again.
Right.
What would Roland think about a day like today, a ride like today for the cause? But not only that, but I'm looking at your shirt with his name and remembrance for him. What would that mean to him?
He'd be shaking his head right now going, oh my gosh, I don't want this, but he has no choice. And I think it's an awesome ride. I think he would be happy because I'm surrounded by lots of friends and family, and he couldn't ask for anything better for me to be with great people.
On a beautiful day.
Yes, on a great day.
Yeah, and I unfortunately, I did not get to meet Roland. I met him once, I think, at Iron Tails. I did not really get to know him that well, as obviously Steve did, but everything I've heard about him was nothing but positive. So obviously our condolences, but also we celebrate his life. We remember him through the shirt, but on a day like today, through the logos that he's created, certainly his legacy will live on. So we appreciate everything he's done and everything you do, being here and speaking so highly of him. So congratulations to you. We think highly of Roland. We always will, and he'll always be a part of this ride and always be a part of Riding Steel. So I appreciate taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bob.
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. Mwah. Please consider helping John and Linda Gregoire's vision for Hope JG become a reality, and join us for the ALS Ride 2016 in memory of Robert York. This ride takes place out of Raven's Roost on 103 Pleasant Street, Brunswick, Maine on June 26 at 11 a.m. Join us for Marley's Ride Sunday, May 15, 2016 at Pepper's Bar and Grill in Winthrop, Maine, and help support the Julie Kluge Camp for Girls. On June 4th, it's the 8th annual Chris Collin Ride, which takes place out of Bentley Saloon in Arundel, Maine. Please go to www.ridensteel.com for details.
When I was young, I worked my granddaddy's farm. I worked hard for the promise of the land and the life. Now I've been locked out, the American dream. Well, we sold off the tractor, we sold off the land. I moved to the city and I got myself a wife. Now I've been locked out, the American dream. Well, my wife had a baby, so we both have to work. My son's being raised by some other kids' folks. Yeah, I've been locked down, the American dream.
We just arrived here at Bentley's after a ride from where the starting point was across from the Scarborough Veterans Home. With me is a young man by the name of Galen. How are you, Galen?
Good.
Good. Now, what makes Galen special is that he's really adopted the Wounded Heroes program as part of your fundraising efforts, right? So why don't you explain to the folks watching at home what you've done?
I have been raising money and donations for the Wounded Heroes program in Maine, and we raised over $1,500, and I hope to keep doing more.
Right. From what I understand, you're still collecting money right now.
Yeah.
Somebody just gave you 20 bucks, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm collecting money for my party, for my birthday too.
Oh.
I just turned 10 today.
Yeah, congratulations. Happy birthday to you. How did you enjoy the ride?
I loved it.
Yeah. You want to do it again, you think?
Yeah, I hope to come back next year and do it more.
Yeah, have you been in part of this ride before?
No, this is the first time I've done this ride.
The first year that you've ever been involved with the Wounded Heroes program?
Well, last year I think I done a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah. $1,500, folks, that this young man raised to support this program. There are charity rides out there that barely raise that kind of money. So you did an outstanding job, my friend. Thank you so much, all right?
Thank you.
You have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right, thank you.
With me, we have a first-time guest on Riding Steel. And what is your name, ma'am?
Edgar.
Vampire. And as you can see, Pam always brings a sense of humor and brings plenty of material for the editing room floor for Steve. So you unfortunately you won't see the gag reel, so you won't get to see all the good stuff that Pam says.
That is one show.
We should, just a gag reel. But we never cuss. We never cuss. We never do anything like that. Pam,
Yep.
yet again, beautiful day. I don't know how you do that. You pull that off every year.
Hey, it's a trade secret. If I tell you, I got to kill you.
Let's pretend, then you keep it to yourself. Let's pretend that there's someone watching who has no idea what Wounded Heroes is all about or what Vampires are all about. Tell us a little bit about the event, why it came to be, and how it's grown to where it is today.
Okay, my gosh. This is year 7. This was actually our very first event as Wounded Heroes program, and Stephen here was on board from the get-go. So this, again, is another anniversary for us. Waiting in the cesspools that we wait in to get things done for the reasons we need to. So, first year out we had 150 bikes. I don't know where we're at
You had to have over 800. I'd say 800 or more today.
People are giving me weird numbers. As Wounded Heroes program, we step in when our guys come home after getting wounded and they kind of need to have some help putting their life back together. So we come in as the safety net to make sure their rent's paid, cars are fixed, heating oil's in the tank, and all the things that we all need to take care of as responsible adults. And their issues make it debilitating for them to move forward to the point to be able to do that on their own.
And I said that to Steve in the beginning because we have covered this ride for many years. So for Steve and myself, it's we know the ride, we know what it's all about. But for people watching that don't know, one of the things that has always struck me is that you think when there's a veteran that comes home from serving their country, they're going to be taken care of. And that is the one thing that has always jumped out to me every year that we do this, is that that's not always the case. Sometimes these people come back, men or women, and they are forgotten in many ways.
Yeah, they are, because the system is too many things and not all of it good. There are big gaps that they fall in between, and they're at a point where they're just not able to navigate it themselves. There's too many gaps, too much overwhelming nonsense that they got to wade through just to get to the point they need to get to. So aside from providing, day-to-day needs for them until they can do it themselves, we help them navigate the system. We do it for them, with them, and pull together whatever resources we need to advocate for them and get them what they need.
Right,
because
can I pitch in something
of course
here?
you can, yeah.
All right. One of the things that is happening here also, that in 7 years, you've learned a lot. And you've gotten firsthand experience as to what our soldiers are going through when they get home and when they're dealing with the VAs and all of that kind of thing.
Right.
And so let's fast forward this. Now she's going to D.C. and she's actually dealing with the secretary of all the VA hospitals or something.
Right.
What's his official name?
Secretary Robert McDonald. He is the actual chief one feather of the entire VA system in the nation.
There you go. So.
And that obviously has come under fire recently, within a year or so, because there was some really bad things happening in VAs on the East Coast. I don't know about elsewhere, but so that really was in the spotlight not too long ago.
Oh yeah, and they're glaring missteps. It's not just a little, you screw up what a veteran needs when they get home, and you've screwed up his, years off his future, and so they're listening. I still find it ironic that they're actually listening, but I'm going back down in August, and I'm the keynote speaker of a 2-day conference/summit because they need to hear what is not going right from the trenches. They're not in the trenches. They're all administrative.
Now, 7 years ago, if I remember right, and I'm going on memory here, this all became a cause, a passion of yours because of someone very close to you, your son.
Yep.
Did you think 7 years ago, as a caring mother, there you'd be talking 7 years, we'd be talking to Pam here, headed to Washington, D.C. to talk to the number one feather?
You know, it's as crazy to me as it is to anybody else. I don't get it either. But you know what? We got to stay the course, and I'm just going to go with it and not overthink it and get all caught up in the, oh my God, stuff. So that's where things are at, and we'll keep you posted.
So other than a great ride, and I know you got a lot, she's got an inventory list, an agenda here that goes forever, itinerary, but what would be one thing you would say? What would be the one message you would say to people watching who want to do something that maybe they don't have a bike, maybe they don't come out and ride in this great ride that you have, and it is a short ride. It's from Scarborough to Bentley's. So those people that aren't accustomed to long motorcycle rides or aren't accustomed to riding in groups, the police department that you have to give kudos out to Scarborough Police Department, Old Orchard Police Department, Lewiston Police Department, Kittery Police Department, Auburn Police Department, South Portland. They did a great job keeping the ride, first of all, in one lane. They did a great job keeping the pace so that anybody, novice or not, and I know the officer spoke to that, could participate. So this is a great ride if you're just getting into you want to get into motorcycle riding, you want to do a charity ride, but you really, you're on the fence about whether you have the skill set or not to do that. This is a great ride to knock on wood. This is a great ride to do that on. So please join us next year. But Pam, where does someone go that's watching? What can they do to help right now?
What they can do is find someone they see doing something and ask what they can do themselves. Because whether it's jumping aboard or initiating a move on themselves, on their own, find out how you can help, and all you got to do is ask.
And how do they get in contact with you if they want to do that?
Find me on Facebook. My phone is on the website, and so is our mailing address and email address.
Well, we are so lucky to be honored to have the Reynolds girls again doing the national anthem. Nobody does it like they do. You're going to have children who didn't know that. So I introduce to you Courtney and Crystal Reynolds. And you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly rehailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sang does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So what'd you think with today's ride, buddy?
It's always a good ride. Pam always does a great ride. I said earlier when we were talking to Pam, it's a good ride for anybody to come on, regardless of experience level of the motorcyclist, because the law enforcement officers that ride with us do such a great job leading the ride. The pace is pretty consistent. They just do a really good job. As Pam said, 7 years, knock on wood, without anyone putting a bike down. And when you get 500, 600, 700 bikes on a ride through congested streets, through the Saco, Biddeford, Scarborough, down to Arundel, it's impressive. So I give Pam kudos for a great ride.
Yeah, it was a nice steady pace.
Well.
It really was a nice steady pace. You got to operate the cam, so he got to go a little bit faster than we did, and he even had his own police escort and everything.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
The officer asked me how I felt riding, and I said, as long as I'm accelerating behind him and he's not behind me, I'm good with it. So I didn't catch the officer's name, but he did a great job. Pulled over beside the road, let me do some footage, and then helped me work my way back to the front of the ride and get more footage. So, we appreciate the support of the law enforcement on our behalf as well. So they did a nice job.
All right, so as we wrap up this show, folks, I want to urge you to go to the warriorlegacyfoundation.org website to learn what you can do to help our soldiers. Pam was talking to me on the way down here because I had the honor of giving her a ride. And have been for the past few years, actually. We celebrate a anniversary together. We've been doing this. We're on our 8th season now, and her ride's been going on for 7 years.
And I don't know who was smiling more, you or Dan Willett, right up there, your co-partner, right beside you at the front of the ride with us. He had his son on the back with him today, which was kind of cool.
That's right. But she was saying to me how her work in D.C. is very important because those bureaucrats or those people are behind desks. They aren't there in the trenches. They're not in the hospital. They're not seeing how some of the things that they pass or that causes delays for our soldiers to receive the proper care that they need. And that's very important to have an advocate like Pam. I tell you, she's a bulldog. Yeah, she really is.
And the thing is, and I tried to make a point when we were interviewing her, is that and anybody watching out there who's passionate about a cause, 7 years ago, Pam Pye was just a concerned mother. Yeah. I mean, that's really... She had a son who had served and was obviously dealing with some stuff with upon his return, and she saw a need and she took action. And 7 years ago, if you had asked her if she thought she was going to be down in D.C. or even go 8 years back before her son perhaps returned, it's just amazing the impact she's having, and it just goes to show the impact one person can have if they're well intended and they have a cause that they're passionate about.
So I want to thank you folks. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Thank you for tuning in to Ridin Steel. We're on between the months of February through April every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Please go to my Ridin Steel website. Become a member of that website, and especially if you're an organizer, you can put your ride on our calendar, and therefore when we go to check out our calendar every weekend, we may show up at your ride and bring awareness to your cause that you are raising money for or bringing awareness about.
And new causes. We're always looking. We do a lot of rides repeatedly, as we've done this ride 7 years in a row, which is good. We like to do that, but also if anybody's got a cause out there that they're just trying to set up interest in, give us a yell. Doesn't matter if there's 50 bikes or 500 bikes.
That's right. And bike nights. Don't forget the bike nights, man. When that weather turns warm, the people can't wait to get out. And on a Wednesday night or, almost every night of the week.
Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, Thursday nights, and alternating Thursdays and Saturdays.
That's right. So there's always something to do, people to meet. And, if that's what you like to do, you like to ride, you like to meet people, then join us. Thank you for watching Ridin Steel.
My name is Galen Neal, and I want to say thank you for watching Ridin Steel.